Are you all right? Ah, I think that answers my question. We've accomplished our objectives as well.
Lisa's unit should be advancing upon the fire control center in the command tower. Let us join them. Lise! Thank the 12 you're all right.
And you. There's the control center. Let's hit them hard and fast. Ready?
They're here!
It was you, wasn't it? Wasn't it?!
I gave the order to fire.
It was over! The Skulls had surrendered, no one else had to die, and you killed them! Your own people! Your own comrades!
You're right! I killed them. Ansfrid, Rudolph, Emlyn, all the rest, trained and fought with every last one of them, good soldiers to a man. I gave the order that led to their deaths, and I knew exactly what I was doing.
But why? Why would you do that?
They died so that all Alamegans could live free. That was all we ever wanted. We made a promise that we would do whatever it took, so that one day the Imperials would learn to accept us. But everything comes at a price. And if you haven't got the means to pay, then you pay with blood. Service guarantees citizenship, but citizenship guarantees naught. It's not enough to do your part, oh no. You have to run faster, fight harder, kill more and more and more, and only then will you be equal. That's just how it is out here in the provinces. You buy your freedom with blood. There is no other way.
Shut up! Shut your mouth! You don't get to talk about freedom! You killed your own! They trusted you, and you killed them! Murderer! Butcher! Traitor!
Lise!
Gotcha!
I know what you can do. I've already seen it.
Alize!
Even so, the odds are against me.
Coward! Get back here!
Lord Xenos invites you to join him for the Royal Hunt, to be hosted at the palace. You may bring your horde, if you like. All are welcome.
She'll be alright, but we'll need to carry her. Will you help me? Thank you. Lise, I leave matters here in your hands.
Right.
I wanted to show you this house. My house.
You mean, this is where you grew up?
Aye. Not much to look at, is it? Same could be said of the village. It was damn near impossible to live off the land, barren as it was. Which is why so many of us traded our plowshares for swords. Swords and uniforms, mind. We became military men. Tensions were rising between Alamigo and the Empire, and there was always a need for more soldiers to watch the border. It was only a matter of time before the first skirmishes broke out. It's a frightening thing to face Magitech armor for the first time. But after a lot of trial and error, I found ways to bring them down. After a few victories, people even said I had a knack for it. And then one day they hit us. Hard. I was wounded and sent home to recover. Back here.
Will you remain silent for fear of the Mad King's vengeance? Of his eyes and ears in the shadows and his knives in the dark? You, who call this living dishonor our nation. It is but a slow death. Liberty or death? Liberty or death! If this be your creed, then raise up your hands, raise up your voices! Together we will tear Theodoric from the throne! Together we will reclaim our freedom! Send you home to men, did they?
Aye, sir. Garlean's got the better of us. The chirurgeons say I'm healing well, so it won't be long now.
Liberty or death, is it? Tell me, soldier. What do you think those words mean?
We must needs be willing to die for liberty.
Spoken like a true patriot. But liberty should not be the end in of itself. Liberty is a chance to build something better. A stronger, more prosperous home for our people. It's not quick or easy work. And it is never truly finished. But if you neglect it, then sooner or later, you look up to find you've traded one tyrant for another.
Well, sir, I've never asked for much. Never wanted to live like a king, just wish it were a little bit easier is all. For me and everyone else. And I'm willing to die for that, if that's what it takes.
Dying is easy, soldier. Living is harder. Rest, mend. Regain your strength. You'll need it in the days to come. And mayhap one day we will need it too.
Conrad chose you as his successor, Lise, and I will not gainsay his decision. I have but one question to ask. Liberty or death? Those were Curtis's words and his creed. Will you swear by your father's creed before your comrades and the gods?
Liberty or death. That's all you can hope for in war. Father understood that. And you want to know if I do too. I swear to you, here and now, I will fight until the end. Be it liberty or be it death. But the freedom we win must be for every Alamegan, even ones like Fordola, though they may hate us, and the Ananta, though they may fear us. We'll fight, and we'll talk, and we'll find a way to make it work for all of us. Compared to all that, retaking our home will seem like the easy part.
A good oath. And there is naught else to say. You are indeed your father's daughter.
Sorry to have kept you waiting. Well, what do you think? I know it's a bit old-fashioned, but in a traditional sort of way, Ida wore it whenever she could. Not that I'm pretending to be her or anything. Not again. It's just... if this is the last battle we fight to free Alamigo, then she ought to be a part of it. It's nice of you to say so. And a bit embarrassing. But mostly nice. Anyway, the real reason I asked you here was to sneak in a warm-up before the final battle. There's this place I know where monks used to spar as part of their training. Care to join me? I remember my father's words, how they rang in my ears as we left Castrum Urbania behind and looked out over the locks before us. Comrades brave and true, they had come from all across Eorzea to stand with us, to stand against oppression and tyranny. 20 years the Empire had ruled us, but no longer. Liberty or death. Liberty or death.
Ere we begin, I would say to you as a proud son of Alamigo that I am grateful to each and every one of you for your part in this endeavor. Now, to the heart of the matter. The enemy appears content to remain within the city walls and await the inevitable siege. Open conflict has been sporadic thus far. Whether Xenos is biding his time until reinforcements arrive, or attempting to bait us into a trap, none can say. We know better than to trust his word.
Regardless, we can ill afford to present Garlemald with a chance to ready her legions. It would be in our best interest to press for a swift resolution.
A long siege wouldn't be good for the people in the city either. If food becomes scarce, you know who'll starve first.
Just so. Therefore, I propose we commit our forces to an all-out assault. What say you? Twould seem we are of one mind. Then let us proceed to the how of it. The Immortal Flames will form the vanguard, supported by the archers and the conjurers of the Order of the Twin Adder, under the Elder Seatseer's command. Once the main host has cleared a path to the walls, we will bring forward the artillery of the Maelstrom and the Temple Knights. I would have your cannons pound the gates and punch a hole right through the middle of their defenses.
What about the resistance?
Your part will be to occupy the residential district and keep civilians out of harm's way. The people are more like to trust their own.
Of course. You can count on us.
Remember that there is a second entrance to the city proper there. If all goes to plan, we will have secured 2 points of entry. Once both objectives are complete, we press on into the city, surround the palace, and hunt down Xenos. As for the Scions, you will be held in reserve as an irregular unit until we have more intelligence on your captured comrade. Kryle's rescue will be your primary concern, but I dare say we'll find a use for you once her freedom has been secured.
Thank you, General. I pray we find her quickly.
Rhalga's beacon nears its end. Soon, my friends, Alamigo will be ours once more!
away with you!
cut you to pieces! Everything. I cannot lose. I will not!
Oh, but you will! Without your tricks, you're nothing! Conrad, Mefrid, your own comrades! I should kill you here and now for what you did! But there's no place for that kind of justice here. Not in my Alamigo.
Oh, how very bloody noble of you. Why, you'll pardon me my sins, will you? After you and your freedom fighters come and tear down everything we've worked so hard to build? We were fighting for our people's freedom.
You're slaves to a tyrant! There's no freedom in that!
Now, my friend! Croyle!
Alphino? I knew you'd come.
Touching as this moment is, it will have to wait. We should rejoin the main force at once. Lise!
I'm taking her back with us, alive. She's going to answer for what she's done.
Listen to you, talking like you've already won. Xenos is gonna tear you apart. He commands a power, echoing that of the Icons.
What are you talking about?
The hunt, you stupid cow. I'm talking about the hunt. He said you'd come, and here you are, his willing prey. You and your friends are dead, just like mine. And all our misery, all our sacrifice, it was all for naught!
No! You're gonna live long enough to see us win our freedom. I promise you that.
May I live 1,000 years.
Interrogations can wait. Let us be off.
Ah, the heroes of the hour. Not content with securing the residential district, you gifted me an Imperial commander. What are you after, a medal?
The work is its own reward, General. I must say, however, that Fordola's claims were not a little disturbing. What manner of power could Xenos have acquired that might equal an icon?
Might she speak of our missing Omega?
Very possibly. The Empire's fondness for comparable Allagan technologies is exceedingly well documented. Have we made any progress with our own investigation?
None. The search goes on in earnest, but Sid has thus far found nothing of note. Mayhap the Garleans beat us to it. If they were working desperately to repair the machine, that might explain their decision to remain within their walls.
Ah, Lys. I trust you surrendered Fordola into custody without incident. We were just discussing the pilot's claims.
About Xenos and his newfound powers. She hasn't said a word on the subject since we rescued Kryl, even when the interrogator asked nicely.
Mayhap I can offer some insight into her claims, or at least into the facility and the experiments they conducted during my time there. Though my memories of the period are somewhat muddled, there are a few things I remember with painful clarity.
Thancred told us only that Fordola had undergone some manner of treatment.
Yes. It is a place wholly dedicated to the creation of enhanced beings, whom they refer to as the Resonant. As I understand it, the process aims to imbue a test subject with the qualities of an individual with demonstrated magical aptitude. This entails the mechanical extraction and transfusion of some manner of primordial essence.
So that's how Fordola improved so fast. I knew there had to be something. She wasn't half as strong or quick to predict my attacks when we first met. If it weren't for Oriange's siphon thingy, I really don't think we'd have beaten her.
My humble scheme asked far more in the execution than it required in the conception, I do assure thee.
Oh, you've got to stop doing that.
In calling upon Lady Alisaie after her defeat, I was most intrigued to learn of the apparent effortlessness with which Fordola countered her attacks. 'Twas as if she knew the blade's destination ere its journey began. A most impressive feat under any circumstances, but an almost miraculous one when considered in the context of Fordola's unfamiliarity with my lady's arts. How then could she so perfectly predict an unknown opponent's every move? After much deliberation, I surmised that Fordola may be possessed of a preternatural ability to divine meaning from the fluctuations of an individual's ether and to instinctively react. To employ a metaphor, one might say that she was attuned to the whispers of my Lady Alisaie's soul.
Wait, have you not just described a manifestation of the Echo?
I had no conclusive proof. The available anecdotal evidence suggested only that Fordola was uncommonly sensitive to etheric fluctuations, and 'twas this which led me to develop my stratagem. I would fashion a device with the capacity to generate a massive disruption in the surrounding ether. If, as I suspected, Fordola's senses were indeed questing for the most minor of oscillations, the shock of exposure to a more amplitudinous etheric waveform would be akin to a debilitating bout of ether sickness.
How ingenious. I note that the success of your plan hinged on your device's wielder remaining ignorant of its purpose, lest Fordola divine your intent.
Indeed so, Master Alphino. All things considered, 'twas a most fortuitous outcome.
That's putting it mildly. In any event, if Urianger is correct, that would mean these Resonant have been granted the power of the Echo via artificial means. A sobering thought, to say the least, and one which makes me wonder what else Xenos has in store.
Whatever the Viceroy's newfound powers, I know of none better equipped to face him. And face him you must. For there is now but one path forward, and it leads straight to Alamigo.
And it's not as if we came unprepared. We've got all our friends and allies fighting for the same thing. Honestly, right now I feel like we could take on anyone and win. And I mean anyone. Enough talking! All right, I get the message. Action is what's needed now. Right, I'd best get back to the residential district. Thancred and the Resistance forces are waiting.
It is time we join the main host. Kryl, in light of your recent ordeal, might I suggest that you remain with the rearguard for now?
Oh, if you insist. Just this once.
yourself together! So it comes to this! Ah, you are returned. Were your negotiations with the Wolfman successful?
The one they called the White was receptive to our words once we told him of Doma's liberation. They withdrew behind the walls to inform their brethren. If the gods are good, no blood shall be shed between our peoples this day.
Hear, hear! Now, I think it's time we did something about those gates. Thaumaturges, forward! Give me hellfire! Give me Ifrit's bloody inferno! Now give me a Curfan winter! Enough ice and snow to bury a behemoth! All cannons! Fire at will! Let no man say we neglected to knock! Armor! We nearly had it!
Is that...
Bear witness, my Eorzean brothers and sisters! Doma has come to pay her debts!
Lord Ian!
We will deal with the flying machines! Forward, my friends! For freedom and justice!
You heard the man! All cannons resume firing!
We're through. The way is clear.
To share these findings. Initiate soul extraction. Success.
this moment last forever. Show me your will. Yes, yes, just so. Have you the strength? To transcend. Welcome to the Royal Menagerie. The King of Ruin built this place for his foreign queen. He kept it filled with familiar creatures from her homeland. They bored me all. This fine specimen, on the other hand, is simply divine. Your fates are entwined, are they not, Icon Slayer? This dragon, this embodiment of unbridled despair, born of a desperate man's burning hatred for the Empire. How raw the raging tempest that churns within its breast. No myth made manifest this, but a being of pure violence. Mayhap you are the true architect of our design. You who fought the very soul of vengeance to the edge and watched him fall. You who let slip the Allegan hound to drive this icon into my arms. Oh my, have I said too much? Forgive me, this sensation is wholly unfamiliar to me. A question, then, and I should like very much for you to speak from the heart. If I were to stand aside, what would you do to this icon? You will not indulge me even with a simple reply, then? No. You think only of the fight to come. How alike we are. A pity. There is another alternative. Or there would be. Had you only mastered your abilities. I speak of the Echo, of course. Does it merely render you immune to iconic influence, or is it rather that your influence is far greater than theirs? Granted, these implications are of no moment to a savage who thinks only of killing the beast before him. But when I read Van Belsar's reports, I immediately saw the boundless potential of the Echo. I saw how it could be instrumental in binding an icon to one's will. Hence my research and the Resonant to know so much more. All icons must be exterminated without exception. Such was the imperial mandate issued by my great-grandfather, after he saw firsthand the destruction wrought by one such being. They are a blight upon this star, he felt. And so he began his great and just crusade. Ha! 'Twas not justice which spurred his campaign, but fear! Fear of the icons! Fear of their power! Cowardice made them march forth to battle. Pathetic. Man should fight for the joy of it. To live, to eat, to breed. Lesser beasts snap and howl at one another for this. Only man has the wisdom and the clarity to embrace violence for its own sake. For we who are born into this merciless, meaningless world have but one candle of life to burn. I know you understand this. You and I are one and the same. Together, we could while away the quiet hours as friends and confidants. If you will accept me. And yet, in doing so, you prove me right. We are warriors. 'Twas plain from the first how this would end. You live for these moments, when all hangs in the balance, when the difference between life and death is but a single stroke. I live for them too! This is who we are, my friend! This is all we are! Alamigo and Doma and Garlemald be damned! The gods! You by your gift, I by my might. And before the Resonant, the gods shall be made to kneel. An ending to mark a new beginning.
Are you all right? Xenos.
The hunter has indeed become the hunted. And yet, there is only joy. Transcendent joy that I have never known. How invigorating, how pure this feeling.
Is that what this was all about? All the meaningless death and destruction, so you could feel something?
Coward!
Stop!
Where is he?
He's dead. By his own hand.
Then justice has been done.
Liberty or death. That so many should be forced to take up this creed to defeat such madness.
We won. Forget him. The living have need of us now.
Stand tall, Lys. Now is the time to raise a cheer for all who fought for freedom. A cheer loud enough to carry to the highest heavens.
You're right. Thank you. Without you... well, you know. So let's do it together.
For Alamigo!
In crimson it began, and in crimson it ended. And then we were free. But what is freedom, really? We may be free to live, to love, to grow old, to have dreams and desires, and to strive for them. But in the end, we're defined by the legacy our forefathers bequeathed to us. Even Xenos was once a baby in the cradle, innocent and pure. He was made into a creature that lived only for death, not born one. "20 years of Imperial rule have left Alamigo torn and bleeding. It won't be easy to heal a generation's worth of wounds, to bridge the gap. But I won't give up, Papalimo. I won't. Because I remember the price of freedom. I remember the smoke, and the ashes, and the blood. I remember the screams, and the silence. And I'll do whatever it takes to honor their sacrifice, to build a home for us all. I promise you. This is the end. The end of the Imperial province of Alamigo, and the rebirth of Alamigo, the free nation. Long may she endure.
Well, well, well. What a fine mess we've made. All but spent feeding that primal, eh? Well, you won't be making any mischief with that amount of ether. Still, better safe than sorry. There ends your hateful legacy.
Good. You're all here. Good. Good. Thank you doesn't really suffice, does it? I'm grateful. Truly grateful from the bottom of my heart. But I know you didn't fight so hard just to hear me or anyone else say that. You fought because you wanted to help, because you believed it was right. Because you're scions. Now, I'm obviously a scion, but as Conrad left me in charge of things here, I also have responsibilities to Alamigo. When I put it like that, though, I realized I couldn't even pretend to be impartial anymore. So it seemed best to make it official. As long as I serve Alamigo, I can't be a scion. It might be selfish and short-sighted, but that's my decision.
Am I to understand that you summoned us all, some of us still nursing wounds, to hear this?
Oh, I didn't,
Forgive me, Lise. 'Twas but a jest. But this I say with the utmost sincerity. Scion or no, we are comrades, now and ever after. Is that not so? There you have it. Come what may, you may count on us in your hour of need. We shall never refuse you.
Stola. Oh, gods. I swore I wouldn't cry.
Come back here, you slippery little devil. To think fishing could be so difficult. What greater proof of a man's lingering mortality than an empty belly? A fate worse than death. Fie on it. To have arrived at the appointed place and time only to survive by mere force of habit. Truly, the Kami are not finished with us yet. Oh, capricious fortune. How you test me with this wretched soul.